Okay, welcome to the All That.
Hang on. Welcome to the All That to Slay podcast.
That's right.
Now, y'all can't see it, but there is a glow stick there. I did buy a glow stick.
And a purple one at that.
But it's not really giving.
Well, it's because it's not dark enough. We have 2 lights. We have the windows, the curtains open, no blinds.
And then these are so bright.
Then we're lit up with our 2 huge lights so that we look pretty for y'all.
Yeah.
Because our faces can't carry it. I'm just kidding. They can.
But
I forgot to do my eyebrows, and so I'm feeling insecure about
They
it.
look great. You don't need to.
I don't need a whole lot because I do have pretty naturally great eyebrows, but I do like just a little bit in the middle.
A little more like definition.
Just a little bit more in the middle, but it's okay. Y'all can still see my eyes.
They look good.
Okay, thank you.
So welcome to All That to Slay.
Yep. For the month of October.
Y'all might have noticed this beautiful oil painting here.
This new art piece.
This art piece, this is Taco Bell nachos, some kind of gordita crunch here, and a Baja Blast.
A Baja Blast.
Okay. This was part of Miranda's birthday gift. That has finally happened.
We were waiting, or Kristen was waiting on this piece to come. Everything else she had.
Yeah.
My birthday is August 6th. And it finally came in. And so what Kristen's idea was, which was so brilliant, is we should open all the gifts for our Patreon.
Yes.
For our patrons on our Patreon.
Yes. So if you're not on Patreon, guy, you need to get over there and pay the $6 a month to see this hot fire content because she opened like 8 to 10 gifts.
Yeah, 8 to 10 gifts. And one of them took me back to my childhood.
Yep.
And it was so special to open it and see it. And I was like, don't cry. You did your makeup today. And
I can't believe that would make you cry.
Because it just reminds me of
And you said it so casually that day in passing that I didn't. I just kind of checked it in my head.
I asked for it every year of my life, though, like as a kid for that gift. And it never came. And so it's just special when something, it's just like the little girl inside of me got something.
I love that.
Yeah. And I'm sure my parents were like, we really didn't see you using this. And so we never were going to indulge you on it. Because they did indulge me on some of I did have a very, very bad addiction to infomercials, watching them.
Oh, yeah.
And I could convince them that I needed the toothbrush, and there was so much, the workout systems, and some of they did.
Slap chop. I have the slap chop. The little curly cute thing where he's like, linguine, fettuccine, zucchini.
And making all the zoodles.
Yeah, all the zoodles. Like, there's some of those things I have bought as
peelers, like really good peelers.
Yeah.
I'll get sucked into a knife presentation, anything at all. And I've been that way since I was a kid, so it was just like, it satisfied this little girl part of me.
Aww.
It was really sweet.
I'm happy to do that.
I know you are, and I love that about you. So thank you. So if you are not on our Patreon, it's super easy to do. You can go to our website, podcats.com. That's, of course, with 2 T's. And you can sign up for the Patreon there. It is $6 a month, and we feel like we're giving you even more than $6 worth. We hope that any of our patrons would say the same.
Yes, and there's content already sitting over there that is
you'll have
else.
access to.
Yeah, like you'll immediately be able to see some other things we've put on.
There's an entire full-length episode there that was never released anywhere else. We come to y'all from Halloween Horror Nights together. Yeah. We released Austin's interview there first before anybody else got it, and then we just drop little things in there as we think of them. Just as a reminder of like, hey, guy, thanks so much for paying the $6 a month and supporting us that way, because those $6 really do add up.
Yes.
And so should we tell them what it's going to help take us to?
Yes. This is a Podcat exclusive announcement.
Yes.
Tell them.
We got tickets to BravoCon.
Woo!
We are so grateful.
She pulled it off. This girl pulled it off, not only from her persistence and checking for them, but her celebrity. Her celebrity is what got us these tickets. Point blank, period. If she was not Miranda and Charlotte, we would not have gotten these tickets.
Yeah, that is true.
That's the truth.
And I can't be humble about it.
So many other people were gunning for these tickets, but when her name popped up, the seller said, OMG, Miranda and Charlotte, I follow you. I followed you for years, on and on and on and on.
Like, she's read my blog before.
Yes.
There are a lot of people.
That's a long time follower.
A long time follower. If you have read my blog, if you know my banana bread recipe by heart.
That's right.
You're an OG.
Yeah.
You're an OG. And so I was on the BravoCon Facebook group like I always am because I am stalking that group for tickets.
Yes.
And I saw someone, and what people are doing now is they're going on and proclaiming, I've canceled my hotel, I've given up on my flight because I know I'm not going to get tickets. This is so discouraging, la, 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 la. And I understand how people get to feeling that way, but we've gotten tickets last minute both times.
Yeah.
So we're just patient people and we'll just wait it out. And so someone was in there saying all of this. And of course, there were lots of people saying, no, keep the faith. People, things come up as it gets closer to it.
We have seen that every single year.
Every
Things come
time.
up for people.
And then people go, hey, I got to unload my ticket.
Yeah.
And what's cool about this BravoCon group is that you are not allowed to resell your tickets for anything more than you paid for them.
Yes.
Because
they're not jacking it up like the bot.
No. So the point is like, hey, we're all in this together. We all have the same passion for Bravo, which really is our Roman Empire, if we're being honest about it. Diana's so niche that maybe Bravo.
But I think
it's niche too.
I mean, listening back to that, I was like, absolutely. These people we listed, the Anne Frank, the Helen Keller, the Diana, these are female icons of our generation.
That I think all females do think about at some point in time. And everyone knows their stories.
Yes.
And it is like pop culture history.
Absolutely.
Pop culture, Anne Frank.
Anne Frank.
And Helen Keller. It's not the smartest thing I've said, but we can add that to the list.
I never thought to think.
I didn't. I didn't. And there's a lot of times I don't. I'm too busy thinking when I'm thinking that I have to take a break. I'm sorry. I know it doesn't make any sense.
Pop culture icon.
Helen Keller and Anne Frank. Pop culture icons. Hey, it's so stupid. I'm
gonna pee.
I hated myself the second it came out of my mouth.
I'm good. I can't wait to re-listen to this. I can't wait to post it. I can't wait.
It's definitely going to be clipped down. I know that.
Clipped down.
This is what AI is going to find for us.
Y'all, let me tell you what's going to take us to the top. Y'all ready?
Tell them.
AI.
Yeah.
Okay? Because here's what's going on. All these podcasters, and they've got all the clips and all the things, and they're doing it all.
Yep.
But you know who can do all those things for us? We don't need a team. We only need AI.
So now we're 1.5, and AI is the other half.
That's it.
Yeah. So now we're back to a team of 2.
We're back to a team of 2 because AI has supplemented your half. So we are full steam ahead. Y'all are going to be seeing more things coming from us that the AI is doing. Not just AI artwork, you guys. Like AI, like video processing and tech and stuff like that. Yeah,
and now we realize how all these other people are doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, they might have teams, but also even if you had a team and someone only worked on the social media component.
Sure. It's still
a full-time job.
It's 100% a full-time job.
Oh my God.
And that team is also probably using AI, right?
100%.
They're using AI.
For sure.
So guess what? Y'all been gatekeeping what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to find it.
Yeah, she is, because she is.
I will go into the darkest of webs to find whatever I have to take us to the top. And you know it.
And I
will not be held back. My family has watched me claw and scratch my way through this, and I won't be stopped. I was on the YouTubes before this started.
I know.
Trying to research something, trying to figure something out. How do I get this to work?
Cat on the keyboard.
So I will not be stopped. And you might as well just tell me all your tricks.
Yeah, because she's going to find them anyway.
I'm going to find them anyway. Okay? So,
why have people been holding this back from us?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's rude.
It is rude.
But
I don't care.
You did it. You found it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I found us BravoCon tickets.
Yes! Okay, so tell them what they are.
So someone was in there saying like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm canceling everything. And a girl chimed in, and her name is Kelly.
Yeah.
And she chimed in, and she said, oh, I'm about to list 2 general admission 3-day tickets if that would change your mind, which was really sweet.
So nice.
Just to give someone first dibs. And right away, boom, 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 boom. Just so many comments of people going, I'll take them. If she's already canceled her stuff, I'm next, interested.
You said it was like 20 plus.
Yeah. And
by the time you saw
that was in minutes.
Yeah.
That was in minutes. And so I then see it. And I think, you know what? There's obviously so many people.
Yeah.
Why even throw my name in the ring? But then I said, Miranda, because you're going to, because that's who you are.
Yes.
Just say, hey, I realize that there's lots of other people. Just throwing my name in the ring.
Yeah.
That's all. And because I also thought, well, maybe since there's so much desire here, maybe she'll do like a random drawing or something. Who knows? And so I don't think about it again. I do this right before bed. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning and I see a DM in my Instagram from a girl named Kelly.
Because this was on a Facebook
That was on a Facebook group, a private Facebook group.
Yeah. And so then you have a DM.
Then I have a DM from a girl named Kelly that says, check your private messages on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, well, that girl's name was Kelly. This girl's name is Kelly. I wonder if it's about the same thing. Because I get messages everywhere, y'all.
Yeah.
There's too many messages. And so I go over to it and it's, oh my gosh, Miranda and Charlotte, I can't believe that you're the one who commented on this. I have followed your blog for years. I listen to your podcast.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
Yes.
And I would love to sell you the tickets.
This is
Kismet.
I can't. Everything you've put in over the past however many years you've been blogging and Instagramming is worth this moment.
It's all for this moment.
It's all for a moment like this.
Moment like this. Some people wait a lifetime. Kelly Clarkson.
Moment like this.
I mean, could y'all, even when she sang that when she won?
Oh, when she won it, her voice was cracking because she was crying.
In my memory.
It could be our Roman Empire as well.
And that's actually a correct pop culture reference.
That is. She is a pop culture icon.
Yeah, she is. And I love Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay, so she says all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, now I believe her.
Yeah.
Because you also don't know, are there scammers?
And we've dealt with the scam, the scammers.
That is, you came unglued.
Yeah.
You had to get on medication.
I had to get on medication.
You were like, I can't do this anymore.
After that, I said, okay, Jesus loves me, this I know. Before he gave me
Lexapro.
I couldn't. I was unhinged more than y'all see here.
I've never seen you like that.
Yeah.
And it was a big wake-up call.
Yeah, it was.
And we have a scammer to thank for that.
Thank you, scammer.
Lemonade out of lemons.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was a little nervous still, but then once she said all that, then when she came to my Instagram and found me, and all the dots were connecting, we have multiple mutual friends.
Yes. Yeah, you felt good about this.
She lives in Lake Norman.
Yeah.
She's a local girl.
People that we know very well are friends with her.
Real life friends that we're friends with know her and everything. So I just said, this feels right. I know you're not going to scam us. She sent me all the receipts of everything that she had.
It's the real deal.
And so now all we have to do is pay her. And Kelly, we're paying you. I just have been very overwhelmed these past 2 days with things. And so anyway, it's happening. It's happening. Yeah. But we have tickets to BravoCon, which is all we needed.
Woo! So these are GA tickets.
Yes.
These aren't VIP. But what we've decided is we just need to get in the door.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We've done the VIP experience, and that was great. We've met a lot of Bravo celebrities. We have the photo moments. We've gone to the panels. We have had amazing experiences at both the BravoCons already. And so
iconic. We had general admission the first year and had a great time.
We did. So we feel like if we can just get in the doors, work the bazaar, know where people are showing up, get ourselves in line.
Y'all know my rule. Yes. We're walking, we're selfieing, we got the camera ready. We're walking with them, we're selfieing.
She's so good at it.
We're just walking.
So freaking good.
And we will get pictures galore.
If I can meet Brynn.
I know. And that is my big goal for you.
If I
know.
Can meet her.
I'm going to make this happen because you made the dehydrator happen. Look at the hands.
You guy.
Pause in. 1, 2, 3, Brynn. 1, 2, 3, Brynn!
Brynn.
We are coming for her. Ultimately,
it's all that matters to me.
I know.
Is to meet her.
And we will. I just know it. I just have this feeling that she's going to be in our Bravo Palooza group.
Okay.
That feeling, and my intuition is good.
Okay. I feel really good about that. I'm going to shimmy my shoulders.
Because Kelly also sold us her Bravo Palooza ticket.
Y'all, and we've never done Bravo Palooza.
No.
So Bravo Palooza is where you go in a room and there's certain Bravo Lebs and you're all just mingling together.
Yeah.
There's no photo line. There's nothing. You're just kind of in there and you're mingling and you're chatting.
You're having a cocktail hour.
Yeah. You're having a cocktail hour with Bravo Lebs.
Yeah. And everyone's just chill. But you don't know who your Bravo Lebs are going to be.
You don't know who it's going to be.
So you just buy the random ticket at the random time that you think works best for you. And I think hers were amazing. I think it was Saturday at noon or something.
Ooh.
Prime time. Because here's how I think
Saturday.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know where my brain is going. Because not every Bravo Leb is coming on a Friday or a Sunday. But
that's right.
Everyone will be there on a Saturday.
Because maybe they'll stay Friday night through Saturday, or they're going to stay Saturday night through
or they
Sunday.
have other commitments or whatever, but they're like, if I can only go for one day, I'm going to go for that middle day.
it's got to be good.
Yeah. So Kelly,
you have done it. Okay, I'm going to be putting you in the credits.
yes.
Okay.
Kelly goes in the credits.
Dana
goes in the credits. Yeah. And we are so grateful for Kelly for just DMing me and writing me and skipping over all those other people.
So sorry if you were one of those other people.
Hopefully they don't listen to our podcast.
No, they don't.
But also, Kelly, they're her tickets, and she has the right to choose whoever she would like to get them.
That's
and
right.
There is something to be said about it being like an actual in-person transaction. So when those bands come,
you can meet her. Because if she's a Lake Norman girl.
Yeah, we're just going to drive up to Lake Norman and grab
we're not
them.
going to trust that in the mail.
Not after last year.
Absolutely
not. No, I think we go up there, and I think that maybe I would say, hey, you want to be interviewed? Like, we'll put a Patreon or something.
We'll do a little Patreon. Yeah. We'll bring the equipment.
Yeah, and we'll say, hey, Kelly, you want to talk with us? Like, we could just do a fun little, like, Bravo riff. Because obviously, if you're willing to buy BravoCon tickets, you're a huge fan.
She is. Oh, I love that.
So it's her Roman Empire, too.
Let's for sure do that. And speaking of episodes with people, this is going to be episode 49. So you know what's next, right?
Mikey. Y'all, I don't know what to do about this.
Like, are we recording with him next week?
I don't know.
Literally,
I guess I need to ask
week.
him.
We would need to figure this out.
Where works?
Is he at a warehouse?
He's working next to Joshua.
Should we bring all this up there?
I mean, I guess we could go down to his office and interview. I don't know what we're doing with him. I don't know, but it might go down in the annals of yesteryear as one of the best episodes ever.
It truly might. I mean, I imagine us like on a warehouse floor,
yeah,
kikiing with some of the staff
on a warehouse floor. He's a salesperson inside of an office. Oh. Yeah, he's Joshua's salesperson.
Well, I thought he was out like moving product.
No, he's out in the warehouse talking to everybody.
Okay, well maybe that because every time I feel like you're talking about Mikey, he's in the warehouse.
He's in the warehouse, bebopping about, chatting with everybody, seeing what's good.
Him and his mullet.
He's kicking it. Yeah. No, that's why my mom always jokes. She's like, Mikey has to stay late because the first 3 hours he's too busy talking to everyone in the warehouse.
Oh, I love that though.
Yeah, he's great. Everyone loves Mikey.
Okay, so guys,
everyone loves Mikey.
The following episode may be with Mikey.
with my mom's cousin's son, my second cousin or first removed. We don't know what any of it means. But my cousin Mikey, who lives next to me, many of y'all follow along with him on social media. He's very funny. So I'm sure it's going to be great. I just have no clue what it's going to look like. And again, really funny that it's Austin, Grandma, Mikey.
But we do have someone else on deck that is coming. We know we keep saying it, but we promise it is.
It really is.
It really is.
She said it to me yesterday to my face. I'm going to do your podcast. So I know it's going to happen and putting that out into the universe
and we're still waiting on someone to bring us Steve Harvey.
Yeah, that's still, the $300 offer is still there.
It's still there.
And it's not going to be there for long based on how much we spend at BravoCon.
Ooh. Well, that's true.
No, just kidding. It's still there. It's a standing offer. We'll cobble it from anywhere.
The bank account is being drained.
That's okay.
Thanks to BravoCon. But
it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, and it's content.
That's right. It's going to be great content. And I know some of y'all don't even like Bravo, but really it's about what we get into while we're also in Vegas.
Yes. Come on, y'all.
It's Kristen's first time in
Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. I've never been. This is my signature move.
It is because you're always ready to praise.
Okay, if we do the t-shirts, my contour line drawing needs to be this on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
What would yours be?
I have no clue.
What's your signature move?
My eyes just closed.
Yeah.
Just this. Me sitting there, maybe because I'm always you
are like this. You're
tense,
touching.
I'm tense with my hands and my eyes are closed.
Yeah, eyes are closed. Okay, good. We'll get that merch up any day. Was that your...
It's the tea just like gurgling in my throat.
In the throat.
Unsweet tea, splash of sweet.
Okay.
If you ever want to know my drink of choice, especially from
I've started to do this since you started.
Unsweet tea, splash of sweet.
Yes.
It's so good.
So freaking good.
Okay.
Do we want to share yet about the Christmas pop-up, or are we waiting on that?
Every time I take a sip. I am so sorry, but I'm not. Because this is just a human bodily reaction.
Yeah.
We're not going to be shameful
We're not going to be shameful, as we have said, and it's been several weeks since we've talked about poop. So I'll bring it back. As we said, if someone is pooping in the restroom, that's what they're supposed to be doing in there.
Stop being mad about it.
Where do you want them to go?
Like in their seat?
In their pantaloons?
Not the pantaloons.
Like if they're in the stall, letting it like raw dogging.
Just clench, knees up.
Like, let's not shame them for that.
No.
So you can burp and do all the things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a direct correlation. I take a sip, it wants to come back up. I don't know why. I'm just a gross person.
Okay, so do we want to tell them about this recording, or we want to kind of nail that down a little bit more?
I think it's nailed down,
Okay.
but I think it's worth, let's give it a little promotion. So Canopy Pop-Up.
Canopy Pop-Up. And we've talked about Canopy before.
Yeah, being a great pop-up.
Y'all know I love a pop-up, a little shopping moment. And the one leading up to Christmas is phenomenal.
Yeah, great vendors.
They do a spring one that's around Mother's Day, and that one's awesome. And then they do this great Christmas one.
Mm-hmm.
And so several of the vendors are friends of ours, people that we know and love here locally. And so they had asked us to
do like a live podcast recording from the Canopy Pop-Up. So we're going to have our own area. We'll have all of our stuff set up, and we're going to bring in as many of the business owners as we can, while they're still, they got to be selling. So hopefully everyone has like a second person there, but just come in, give us like a little 5 to 8 minute elevator pitch about what you do. We'll ask some questions, and then they can get back to their booths. But it's a way to introduce all of our podcasts, in case they haven't been yet, to these business owners. And these are all local ladies.
Local girlies who are out here doing the work.
Hustling.
Which
we've both been there.
Yes. Oh, yes.
We've both been at pop-ups hustling our wares.
That's it. Gosh,
and
wares.
It's an exhausting job to be a creative, a business owner.
To just be the business owner is hard. But now, as we've already said, like to be on top of the social media of it and be creative and be funny and quirky, and it's just so much work. Mm-hmm. It's gone way beyond days gone by where people could just own a little shop on the corner and like that's it.
Mm-mm.
No.
That's
not enough.
Because the like we said, it's the online component of it all.
It is.
And that's what takes so long. And unless it's your job, you just don't even know it.
You don't get it.
Unless it's part of your job. Now, I know some people, you just get to use Instagram to post pictures of your kids, and you do it when you want.
Yeah.
And that's awesome and great. But the people who are creating content intentionally for it, it is a full-time job.
It is.
In addition to the business that you own that you have to talk about on the social media. It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
And listen, I know it's not laying bricks. We aren't rescuing people on fires.
Sure.
We have perspective about it. We're just sharing with y'all in the hopes, I think, that one, you will love our content because we are working really hard on it. And two, all the more reason why it means so much when you engage with it, when you like it or comment
or share it.
Yeah. So I think that this would be a good time now just to educate people a little bit while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
That when you share, say, a reel of ours or the receipts or whatever, now anyone can click on the little square at the top with the smiley face and you can add a link. So you can click on that. It used to be that you had to have 10,000 followers and only certain people had access to the link feature.
Yes.
But now everyone has it. So just go up to the little square with the smiley face, click on it, then scroll a little bit and it'll say link, tap on that. And then you can paste the link from whatever podcast episode we did most recently that you're sharing,
or one that you really
love,
or one
that you really love.
Yeah.
And then you can add it, and then that way people can click on that on your story as they're scrolling through. And it's such a great way for us to get exposed to more people. And if you tag us, we're happy to reshare you.
Oh, yes, we will always reshare.
If you're someone who's like, yeah, but you missed me doing it or whatever, just send us a DM and then we'll make sure to see it. And Sonia did it last night for us. She shared 2 things because of Landon.
Yes.
And so our friend Sonia shared it, but the first slide we weren't underlined, which means she tried to tag, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work.
Okay.
And so now you can even go back in and add a mention. And so
I know, I just realized that when I was in Nashville.
Oh,
there
really?
was something I posted and Ashley was like, oh, you didn't tag. And I said, oh, crap, I thought I did. And she said, I think now you can go back and add tags. And I tried it and I said, this is a game changer.
It's a game changer. It was so huge.
They have needed that for so long.
When Instagram rolled that out, now the person, you won't be able to see it on the slide, but the person who is hoping to be tagged will see it and then they can share. So you can always go back in and do that. And again, happy to walk you through any of that, but really, we need y'all to spread the word.
Yeah.
And we hear the lovely comments and we see them, but the share is really what gets us exposed to all new people.
Yeah. The share and again, leaving comments, the more comments we have on things, the better.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any way that you have related to whatever madness is happening on this podcast and that you are either watching on YouTube or listening in your car, let us know.
Yeah.
We want to know.
Yeah. And not just in the DMs.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just copy and paste that exact DM comment right on that reel, right in that comment section.
She's our influencer expert. Okay.
I'm really just trying to, and we love the DMs, and some of the things are precious and private,
Some
and y'all
are private.
don't want to share it,
Yeah.
and I understand that.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, oh my God, this episode was so funny, I was dying laughing, like such a sweet DM, go ahead and copy and paste that, put it on the reel that we've associated with this, so that then as people are scrolling through, they'll believe us when we say it's really funny instead of just us saying it's really funny. Because we find ourselves hysterical.
We are so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. Okay, so I just mentioned that I was in Nashville.
Yes, and how was it?
It was so freaking fun. We had great weather. You know that really matters to me.
Of course it does. Especially when you're walking around so much.
When we're walking so much and wearing the outfits and putting all the energy and effort.
Your pink outfit. It stopped all the Miller girls in their tracks. All the Miller girls.
The Miller girls.
All the Miller girls. It stopped us all in our tracks.
It was an H to T moment, head to toe.
Head to toe.
Head to toe. And it was our last day, so I was like, I have to bust this out. It's our last day.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
Oh.
It was a
moment.
It was so good.
Now, I have to say.
See, I thought you wore that because you were posting so behind, which I really need you to do better.
Because I was a day behind.
But
I'm trying to live in the moment.
I understand that, and that's fine, but it also meant that I thought that you were wearing that to
Sunday.
brunch.
Oh.
On a Sunday brunch. Sunday brunch, head to toe. I mean, mesh. We're seeing midriff.
Yeah, there was mesh with the pink sports bra underneath.
Yes.
Turtleneck mesh with thumb holes.
I know. I saw it, and I thought, she's wearing this to Sunday brunch in Nashville.
It was Saturday brunch.
It was Saturday brunch, but it took you all the way into the night.
Okay, so this is what it was, is we knew that day was going to be a long day. And we were doing so many different things in the day that I thought, I'm just going full in on this, on Nashville Barbie.
Yeah.
And it's going to take me through the evening.
Yes.
And so we started with the brunch, which was incredible.
Yes.
Oh, yes. We got to talk about all the things
Yep.
that were delicious. and you know the Nashville food scene, too.
So great.
So let's just chat about that for a
Love
second.
it.
So much good food in Nashville.
Now, I don't get to enjoy as much food as I would like to out and about in Nashville because my Aunt Jenny is such a phenomenal cook.
That's true.
And she hosts us, and we stay with her, and then we eat all of her food.
Yes.
So I don't get to eat out as much as I think people think I do in Nashville because of it, which I would still always choose Jenny's table over anything.
Are you a hot chicken girl?
I've had the Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah.
Like we went to the place, whatever
Yeah.
it's called, that like invented it and started it and everything. And it's fine. It's just my acid reflux really limits me on a lot of spice right now.
Now it would not be good for you.
I know.
I did the medium spice level, and that was just right. It gave me some heat. It gave me some tears.
Okay.
But it wasn't like
some tears.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the boys all did Southern style. They did no spice. And I said, I'm the one with Crohn's. Y'all can't even get low-level spice?
I'm the one with Crohn's. I thought she was going to say, I'm the one in all pink.
Yes.
I could have gotten this messy. I didn't know where you were going.
And so, anyway, the food was incredible. Adele's, I think, was the name of the place that we had our brunch at.
Okay.
Best brunch buffet I've ever had anywhere, ever, because each item on that buffet could have been a standalone, excellent, phenomenal
Wow, it was that good.
Yes.
Okay, did they have biscuits and gravy?
They did not have gravy, I will say, but they had, y'all, but they did have our lox. They had the lox bagel, so, of course, I got that.
Love a lox bagel.
And just any little thing, everything you can imagine. There wasn't enough space in our stomachs to eat all the stuff.
No.
But, walking in there, I just felt a little bit, and I said to the girls I was with, I was like, I am
really showing up.
standing out.
Yeah.
Because everybody in this cute Saturday brunch place is wearing like linen and light blue.
Or athleisure.
Or athlete. I mean, not even that. It was like pretty.
Seersuckers and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, we're going a very southern.
Kind of southern preppy.
Southern
maybe.
preppy. Okay.
And I'm walking in a pink fringe skirt with the belt, with the mesh shirt.
We will be posting the outfit as a receipt, obviously, you guys.
A bright pink hat, bright, sparkly boots up to my knee. Like, it was giving a lot, and I know that.
Yes.
But I just thought maybe some people in this restaurant will be a little more. There were a couple bachelorettes that came in, and they had some hats and stuff, some cute stuff, so I felt a little bit better, but I kind of stood out like a sore thumb. And it's fine.
But you do a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to give 110.
I know, but I was on another level.
Yeah, you were on another. Like I said, it stopped all of us in our tracks. I mean, I viewed the picture separately on my phone. Then both my girls separately, I saw them after school.
Yeah.
And all of our first conversations together were, did you see what Kristen wore in Nashville? That's how much we were like, we've got to talk about this. It was iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
And so
we did
tell
brunch.
me about that place with the Dolly statue, Limoncello.
Yeah, the white limousine. White. Also known as Limoncello.
I thought it was like a play on limoncello,
But
and it was like Limoncello.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's white limousine.
I can understand that that's confusing.
It had a Z. That's what you're getting from me. It had a Z. Okay, but tell me about that place.
This was it. This was our first night. This was Thursday night. This was in the Graduate Hotel.
Which I love the Graduate Hotel.
Yes, and that's where they had the Taco Bell. So I had to take a picture for y'all. Hopefully y'all saw that online.
And they have a great karaoke place in there too.
And we went and did that too. I have a funny story about that.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we go to the Graduate, and then at the top is the Dolly restaurant, which is white limousine.
Okay.
And food was phenomenal. Drinks were amazing.
But is it fairly new?
I don't know.
Because
I mean,
when
but
I
all of them see, I knew nothing. I made no reservation. I did nothing. You know me. Like, I just
Matt
showed
usually
up.
does it.
Yeah, but Ashley takes charge. She takes charge.
When it comes down to the two of them, she's going over Matt's.
I mean, I'd say on this trip for sure, and I think on some other trips, she's like, and not in like a
not in a bad way. But I'm impressed.
Yeah, that she is like, these are the hot restaurants. These are the places we
she
need
knows.
to go. I made a reservation. I got us a set for 8. Like,
I
even
bet
White
Matt
Limousine, we
loves
couldn't
that.
get 8 people in. She made a reservation for 6 and 2. And we said, we'll just combine if we have to. Like, she really did the work.
Wow, good for her. And
she booked the place we stayed. Like,
you know
she
what?
did a lot.
I bet Matt really enjoys to just show up sometimes
I
and
think
have
so.
someone else lead the ship.
Yep, you are correct.
Okay, I love that.
Yes.
So you went to White Limousine. That place looked really cool. The reason why I didn't know if it were new or not is that when I went to the Graduate, I don't even remember signs for it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is.
Because everywhere else y'all went in there.
You recognize.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
But then I said, And then 2 weeks later, I had another friend who was posting from White Limousine. And I'm thinking,
oh, weird.
How did I miss this?
Maybe it's
and
newer.
I love Dolly.
So maybe that's how Ashley knew about it, if it's a newer place.
Okay, I'm going to have to dig into that.
So anyway, we went there. You saw the Dolly statue on the outside.
So great.
So great.
What's it made out of?
Like a mesh. We were trying, but
It
like
almost looked like sand.
Yeah, it's a hard chicken wire mesh.
Okay,
So
to
we
me,
touched it, and it was hard.
It was giving sandcastle.
I know. That's what we thought.
That's what when you looked at it. Okay, cool. I love it.
I know.
I can't wait to go back to Nashville and go see it.
Nashville is the best, y'all. It's just the flippin' best.
So much fun.
It's easy to get to from us.
Yeah.
It's just it's the whole vibe of everybody there is just we're here to party and have fun.
We're here to party. I mean,
That's it.
It's the only place like
starting at like 9 a.m.
And here's what's so great about it too. Every honky tonk on Broadway has the windows that open to the outside, and the bands are always on stage at the front of the restaurants.
Yes.
And so the windows are open, and so you just walk down Broadway, and it's just one banger after another, and you can pop in and out, in and out, in and out. And then there's the guy who's like, hey, do you want to hold a snake?
Yeah.
For $20. And of course I said yes.
Yes.
I want to wrap that snake around my waist and wear it as a belt.
Oh my gosh.
And I did. So that's Nashville.
It's Nashville. And
that's Nashville.
Was wild the weekend we were there because there was a Titans game happening.
Yep.
There was a Tennessee game happening.
Tighten up. Mm-hmm.
And then there was a Drake concert happening
Oh,
and
boy.
a Thomas Rhett concert happening. So when I tell
wow.
that these streets
Oh,
were
yeah.
so packed, we couldn't believe it. But we were squeezing in there. We were getting into the clubs.
And it's the bachelorette capital of the world now.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
just the United States. And it's taken over Vegas.
I believe it.
I mean, Vegas is no longer number one. I
Yeah.
believe, if I'm correct, and I will put it on the receipts, I believe Nashville has taken
I
it
think
over
you're
and
right.
it's number one.
And the number one for bachelor trips is Dublin.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Isn't that interesting?
I can see that. I feel like we learned about that on Jersey Housewives because of Dolores.
Dolores told us that.
Okay, I thought so.
Oh, good pull. I was like, how do we know that? Wow, your brain. Did you take another Adderall?
Today.
Wow.
I took a half. So I took it last time we recorded and this time. In between, no.
That's good. It was fun watching it wear off.
It is. Isn't it crazy? Because she had asked me earlier,
Yeah.
hey, does it wear off? Can you tell? And I say, yes.
Yeah.
And then by the time the clutter happened 3 hours later,
She couldn't remember anything.
she was like, I said the wrong teen that Travis Kelce was on. I said, scratch it. Let me re-record.
Let me start over.
I'm going to lose all my credit as MILF if I get this wrong. But I said, you are watching in live time, me not take it that second half.
Yes.
Because
it's pretty crazy to see.
It is.
But it does tell you, too, that that particular med really does just leave your system, which I think is kind of a good thing.
Well, I tell people all the time, if you want people, and I had to tell myself this as well, is when you first are getting the diagnosis and the medication, you, of course, can find all the bad news,
Of
right?
course,
You can find
yes.
all the bad reviews and all the bad news, and you can do that with semaglutide, too. And any medication, Tylenol, doesn't matter. Someone has had a bad reaction.
Yeah.
That's why the bottle's tiny print is this long no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
That's right.
Even on vitamins. So I had, of course, heard some things about Adderall, the people who call it meth and all that sort of stuff. And so I was so nervous to take that first pill. And then what I realized is, hey, as fast as this is working, it probably will stop working as quickly.
Uh-huh.
That's why people take their second half
That's right.
or do a time release one or whatever. And then by the time it's done, you go to bed and you sleep it. And then you wake up and you do it the next day. And so what I try to tell people if they've gotten diagnosed and are really nervous about taking that first pill, I'm like, you can watch in live time and power down.
Yes, just powering down all the memories, all the thoughts, just deleting from your brain.
So you hate it? Great.
It's like Dumbledore with the wand. When he pulls the memories out, that's like me to you.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a wand here, I'll see if I can CGI that in.
Okay. And then, is that it? I try to tell people it's going to be very quick. So if you hate it,
Yeah.
great. In
It's
8
gonna
hours,
Yeah.
you're done.
It's going to leave your system.
So you might as well at least try it. And if you don't like it, then you can sell a lot of that Adderall on the black market.
Yeah. On the dark webs where I am getting information about how to run a podcast.
And that's your pro tip. Do not sell Adderall online. I feel like I need to let people know that's a joke.
Don't remove us, YouTube.
Do not sell Adderall online. It's a joke.
We're kidding. Haha. Okay, so did you know? So on my trip with us was my friend Clint, our friend Clint.
Yes.
You know Clint. You love Clint.
Love Clint.
Did you know the two other women that he dated, like seriously dated, and was engaged to one of them for just a bit? Their names were Miranda
And Kristen?
and Mandy.
No.
Is that not? Is that not?
Is that why Clint likes me so much? Is that why I'm always vibing with him?
Maybe.
I get it.
Did you ever date a Clint?
No. I've dated 2 people and I married one.
What's the first guy you dated? Matt was asking me.
Jason.
Jason, that's the name.
Jason and Joshua.
Jason and Joshua. I'll never forget. I've sealed it in my memory.
Jason and Joshua. And there were a few there was this one guy named Reggie and we dated, but he would never be exclusive with me.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just kind of was getting played
Yeah.
and he ended up, hooking up with one of my good friends. And
Haven't we all been there?
Yeah. And I was just like, dude, no.
And it's always a Reggie.
Mhm.
It's always a Reggie. It's
DJ Press Play.
it's a Kyle,
It's a Chad.
It's a Chad.
Yeah.
And not a good Chad.
Nope.
Because they're trying to use Chad now as like a good guy.
Oh, really?
But to me, I think
I do know some nice Chads. I'll give it to them. I know some nice guys of every name probably, but Reggie,
it's a no.
he won it.
No.
He ended up marrying one of my friends and they have divorced.
Because he's a Reggie.
I think that he's just probably had a really tough time always being a monogamist. And that's just a guess. I really don't know what happened to their
Then
marriage.
you know what? If that's you, guy, just don't get married.
Yeah.
Just don't get
He
married.
could never be a monogamist when I was trying to date him.
Yeah.
When other friends were trying to date him, he had the reputation around campus for sure for that. And so my whole thing is like, why am I trying to convince this guy to want to be exclusive with me? No. Get out of here.
No.
And then ever since I was just kind of like, maybe it's not for you. Monogamy doesn't have to be for everybody. Hear me say this. I've long held to the fact that when the original vows were written,
Yes.
till death do us part,
Mm-hmm.
was when life expectancy was 37 years old, you guys. Like, people were dying before 40. That's why they called it over the hill.
That's a good point.
And so maybe, and yeah, sure, we were getting married a little bit younger, not that much younger than I got married.
Yeah.
But maybe you're getting married at 15 or 16. 37 is still 20 years.
20
Anybody
years.
can do anything for 20 years.
I know.
You really can.
Yeah.
All right? I know. You're just in this loveless marriage. You're just struggling to get to 20.
We are limping across 15.
Just dragging. And so I do believe that when those were written, now I'm not saying that being monogamous until now 80 or 90 can't be done, because I'll do it.
Sure.
You're going to do it.
We will.
And we will. But I can see why it is harder for people now. Just the way that the world is, there's so much temptation. There's so many ways to communicate with other people.
That's it.
And
yeah, because before you were just like in your little village on a farm, tending to the goats and the pigs and trying to have a bunch of kids so they can help you on the farm.
And maybe your next nearest neighbor you couldn't even get to.
That's what I'm saying. There's not even anybody to like cheat with. It's like, I've married this lady. We're going to raw dog until one of us is dead. That's it.
You've used raw dog multiple times in this episode, and I'm not mature enough for that. You know that. But yeah, you only had the people around you.
You're so right.
And it was most likely family who was even your neighbor, and you're not sleeping with them.
Yeah. Not a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to, especially if you're raw dogging it. So
you might, but you may not do it as much as.
Yeah, but we don't want any Edinburgh kids happening. Ooh. And so what I'm saying is that what I'm trying to get at is that if monogamy, if you know, like, it's not a high likelihood that it's something you can commit to, and now life expectancy has climbed into the 80s.
Yeah.
And till death do us part is now carrying a sentence for some people, viewing it that way, 60 years.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not fair to your partner who is
is
going into it with monogamy on their mind.
Yes. Marriage is a beautiful thing, and I think it's great, and having a family and all that's wonderful, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Yes.
But some of y'all out here in these streets need to just not.
Yeah, take a long, hard look at yourself and your soul and say, I can't do this to another person. And
I mean, how many men of Bravo? Tom, for example. You know, who just should never ever be trying to get married to anybody.
Don't do that. No man named Tom on Bravo. I'll say that.
Toms.
No Toms. No Toms.
Just you can cat about
unless
town.
you're Tom Colicchio on Top Chef.
Yes.
Then you can.
Oh, yes.
Because we love that Tom. But we're saying in like the Housewives. VPR.
Yes. It's just they just go around town. You're going to be able to get with young ladies probably for the rest of your life because they like your money and they like your swag or whatever. Yep. And just stop luring women in thinking that you're going to marry them and you're going to change because you're not.
You're not going to change.
So all the men listening to this, all the single men listening to the All That to Slay podcast, I hope we've given you great advice. Don't spit.
I got it. All those men listening, all the one guy, which is why we say you guy.
The one guy
listening. Apparently it's Joe and Clint.
And
Matt sometimes.
Yeah, and Matt sometimes.
Joshua can't keep that.
I feel like there was one more. We had one more guy. Oh gosh, it'll come to me.
Okay.
Because there was one more guy.
If you're a dude listening to us, let us know. We want to know who it is. We're going to add you to a list of maybe like honorees.
Yes.
Maybe we have like a plaque.
They can go on the credits.
Yeah. Oh, they can go on the credits. Yeah. And then all of our listeners and these 4 men. Right after Dana and Kelly.
And then the 4 men that listen. Perfect.
We'll just keep adding them to the end.
I mean, my dad is listening because my mom is. You want to hear something goofy,
What's
though?
the update?
Okay, so my mom's listening. She continues to send me texts like kind of related to something we discussed. It's always really, really funny. Oh, she sent me one out of the blue in Nashville that said, I really hope you and Matt aren't related.
I think that there's proof in your children that y'all aren't.
And I showed the girls. I was like, please look at what my mother just sent me. Like, hope you and your husband aren't related. Like, because of talking about the Netherlands.
I know.
Anyway.
Pam.
Dawn.
Nothing else.
I know. That's it.
That's what she took.
But Tinsley said it was so funny because, you know, generally people are listening to podcasts while they fold clothes or go on a walk or whatever they're doing. You know, it's kind of to fill in that empty space.
Yeah.
She said, because my kids were with my parents over the weekend, and Tinsley said, oh, Nana listened. Like, I watched her listen to the podcast. And I said, what does that mean? You're saying that in a weird way. She said,
watched her.
Mom just like sits and just holds the phone like this and listens.
Which is how she listens to music too. So that tracks.
Yes. So I said she wasn't like folding clothes or doing the dishes. She said, no, she just was sitting and just
looking at her phone.
And just holding up the phone while y'all talked.
She should just watch the YouTube then.
I know.
She might enjoy it a little bit more.
I should do that. I should program that on their TV.
Do that.
So it's like a bookmark.
Yeah, do that for them.
They would understand that.
Yeah, they would absolutely understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do that for y'all, Mom and Dad, if you're listening to this one.
Yeah.
Because I just feel bad. It's like, that
there's so much that could have been done.
It feels a little boring to me to just stand there with holding your phone out while you sit in a chair.
Yeah, that's not it. That's not it. I mean, I would be surprised to know how many other people are listening. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So we'll throw up a poll.
If I am
Most
listening
likely.
to a podcast not in the car,
Yes.
I'm at home cleaning,
Doing a chore.
I'm doing a chore.
Same.
Yep.
Same. I'm doing a chore of some
It's
sort.
a boring, it's something stupid that I don't want to do that I've been avoiding and procrastinating, and that podcast helps me through it, whatever it is.
Agreed. And sometimes I'm showering.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do them in the shower. Yeah. So, y'all, our friend Clint.
Like sometimes I'm showering.
Sometimes. Not a lot. Y'all heard on the clutter. Do you shower? No. No. Oh, and I was giggling because I was thinking about this clutter coming out and everyone that knows us and is friends with us sitting here going, y'all stink.
Nah, I mean, maybe we do.
And they're all going, how do we tell them that they're super stinky? And maybe we are. Maybe we are. I don't think it's going to change anything for me, though. Yeah, that's the.
I mean, there's just a lot of times I am coming from working out and then going on with the rest of my day.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but if there's not time to go home and shower it off, there's not time to go home, shower it off.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Just know that I'm not smelling other people.
Yeah.
I don't care if other people stink.
I'm not smelling. I've never smelled anybody stinky around me that I can think of. So maybe it's me.
Maybe it's us.
Yeah.
The flies.
I don't care.
The
I don't. I wish I could.
Do you care less than 0?
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less. There is nowhere left to care.
You could care less or couldn't?
Definitely couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Because if you could care less, which some of y'all are still out here saying when you mean you don't care anymore, then that means that you actually could care less. There's more room to care.
If here's the least amount of care, you're saying I could care less means I could be down here.
Yeah.
But when you're saying I couldn't care less, it means you're at the rock bottom.
Yeah. There's nothing else left. That's what the could not means.
Care less. So stop saying could care less.
Yeah. Mary, you know it's you.
Okay, Mary, I didn't know that.
She knows it's her.
Okay, Mary.
I correct her every time.
Okay, so you've told her.
Oh, yeah. She's not finding out right now on this podcast. No. Our moms, this is apparently the segment where we talk about our moms.
Yes. But
does anybody else want to talk about theirs? And give ours a break?
But listen, as I've mentioned Clint, and I told you this before.
Yes.
So because we got to let people know, because to get this started, we got to have voicemails, period.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a new segment coming. Our friend Clint is a doctor, and he's also just a goofy, great, funny, silly guy.
Yeah.
Totally fits in with this vibe. He's also a podcast. He listens regularly.
Yeah.
And
he was one of the 3 that we remembered to mention.
Yeah. And so he has agreed to do a segment for us. We'll do it maybe once a month called Ask Dr. Beaver.
Yeah, his last name's Beaver, y'all.
Beaver. And so we're going to do
great?
Ask Dr. Beaver. And so we would love for y'all to either send us messages on the gram or send in a voicemail
on the HoHo.
On the HoHo. And so we can sit and chat with him about whatever random medical questions y'all have. I feel like this is such a service.
Such a service, and it can really truly be about anything because he is a primary care.
He does.
He knows the whole gamut.
Yeah.
So it's not like one specific. Well, I was going to say specific specialty.
Specific.
It's redundant. So ask him anything.
Yeah.
He'll have a great answer.
Yes.
And he is really, really funny, and we would like to be around him a lot.
We really, really do.
Yeah.
So, Clint, thank you for agreeing to this. I feel like, us podcasts, we are women of a certain age mostly.
Yeah.
And we've got more and more questions on our minds, not only for ourselves, but our husbands, maybe aging parents, for our children. Like, there's a lot going on medically.
Yeah. And as Kristen said a couple episodes ago, that it is wild to see it flipping and that our doctors are now younger than we are.
Yep.
Is Clint? How old is Clint?
So Clint is 44.
Okay.
I don't want to say two, but if Matt's 42.
He's somewhere in his
Yeah.
early 40s.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of like where we
So
all
he's
are.
still in our age group, which again, I feel like gives us
Yes.
a comfort factor
Yes.
instead of some 22-year-old coming
Yeah.
in and telling us about our vagines and our
Yeah.
a noose.
Yeah. Tell us more, young buck, about my vagina that has taken a pounding for many, many years.
Yeah, the vaginal bridge.
The vaginal bridge.
And it just breaks every time. The
Just
bridge.
rips.
It just rips open. Y'all want to know about that?
Are we going to have to cut this?
Did you ask about the one nut?
No, I forgot to ask.
Okay. We'll get back to
Dang
that. Maybe with Mikey on next time's episode.
Yeah, he knows about it.
Okay, listen.
So Colin, let me tell the podcast that if you're listening in the car or whatever, and it's very hard to remember all the things that we say when we're doing, hey, here's our website and here's our email and here's this and here's that. Kristen types all of that up in what's called the show notes.
Yes.
On whatever platform you are listening on, if you just tap on the actual episode, right, and it like takes you to this bio of sorts, underneath there is where you will see our HoHo number.
Yep.
So I know we say it 1-877-914 hold on. It's actually 1-877-91-HoHo. That's what it is.
That's the best I could get.
I know it was the best you could get, but I actually think that that's funnier. I think it's funnier that our number is 1-877-91-HoHo. So, but if you can't remember that, even though it is super funny to me, if you can't remember that, it's in the show notes. So just tap on that extra information. Go look. That's where you find out about our advertisers, our Instagram page, our YouTube link. If you want to go over Patreon and come and give us $6 a month, that's all in there. So we don't expect you to remember these as we're saying them. They're all in the show notes, and of course, all on the website, which will also be in the show notes.
And guys, I really have to rack my brain when I'm writing the little synopsis for
Also,
every show.
why aren't more people talking about your synopsis?
It's a lot.
Synopsi. I'm not sure the plural of the word synopsis, but it's synopsises.
I think it's synopsises.
Okay, not synopsi.
Mm-mm.
Like octopus is octopi, cactus is cacti, but then other words ending in S are not I.
Okay, well,
and this is why the English language is very hard, and is why I give a lot of people passes.
Tricky. Are you giving the passes?
I give it on some things. I do give it on some things. There are things like, here's something I give a grammar pass on.
Okay. I'm looking up synopsis.
Fewer, less, more,
Yeah.
greater than, things like that. Now, there are, of course, very technical ways of saying, I had more money. I had greater than this amount. There was less, fewer, things like that. But those are things that I totally give people passes on, because even I'll screw it up.
Yeah.
I'll screw that up sometimes. Another thing I would screw up sometimes is the subjunctive. If and when get the were, not the was. If it's a hypothetical. Well, if we were to go to Nashville, not if I were to go to Nashville, not if I was to go to Nashville, because it's an if. It's a hypothetical. But there are times when was just sounds better.
Just sounds right.
Now, it's still wrong, and so I'm not going to do it. But when other people say it, I'm not like, ugh.
You are a little bit in your mind.
If I catch it. But it's not because I'm disappointed in them. It's because my brain now is memorizing these things, and so I just hear it differently.
Okay, do you want to know the plural of synopsis?
Yes.
Is synopsis, but the two letters on the end are ES.
Right.
Instead of IS.
Instead of IS. And they will do that sometimes.
Synopsis.
Okay. Yep. They will do that.
So it's going to sound the same.
Yep, it is.
ES on the end.
It is going to sound the same.
Now, Dr. Clint,
They will get it.
he does have a correction for you.
What is it?
A grammar correction.
Go ahead. I'm all ears. We're talking about it.
Ready to receive it?
I'm ready to receive it.
It's Lyme disease.
Not limes.
It's not Lyme's.
I know, and I've tried to break that bad habit. I've tried to break it.
I said, do I tell her? And he was like, tell her.
If you go back.
Because one of your biggest fans of your grammar stuff is Clint. He loves it.
Great. And I love that. And there are certain times you will hear me say Lyme.
Yeah.
Like on Joshua's Run, we were talking about how the St. Jude doctor is the one who found out that my husband had Lyme. And so in lots of interviews, I was saying to myself, say Lyme. Say Lyme, because I was being interviewed constantly during that thing. Say Lyme, say Lyme. And for the most part, I stuck to it. And then every once in a while, limes.
Lyme's disease. And I think I've said Lyme's because you say Lyme's and you know more about it than me, so I don't know.
I know. It is Lyme. It is Lyme.
Okay.
I know.
Podcast
And he's
exclusive.
Right. He's right.
So look, Dr. Beaver is already
Yeah.
spreading the wellness and the wellness hacks.
Yep.
So next time you get Lyme disease, call it Lyme.
Yeah, and not Lyme's.
Okay. Last thing I have to tell you before we get into what we were going to talk about is I did not have any posters in my bedroom growing up.
None.
Can you believe that? I was like, I'm going to tell her this.
Were
and
you
then-
not allowed to put them up?
It wasn't that. I just think I never was at like media play and seeing a poster of somebody.
But they were at the Scholastic Book Fair.
I
You never bought a poster at the
I did
Scholastic
not
Book Fair.
have posters and nothing is coming to my mind. When people were writing us and saying, oh, I had this person, that, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, whatever, never, can't think of a poster I had. Now, Lauren, Sister Lauren, you can chime in here if you remember, but I don't think I did.
I had, obviously, it was Diana and William collage
Yes.
head to toe, and then the poster of William on the ceiling. So that was my journey.
Yes.
And I had already told y'all all about that. But I did go to college again as like a grown up, and I hung up a picture of Justin Timberlake in my dorm room.
So the fact that you met him.
I know. The poster was still like, we had bunks.
Yeah.
Kristen Ciceri was on top. I was on bottom. I guess I'm always on the bottom of bunk beds.
Yeah,
I
you
think
are.
because I'm shorter.
Well,
I think that's a big reason why.
I think people just feel they can tell you to get down.
To get down low.
Take it
And
low.
I do like to get low.
They've seen you get low. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm very flexible.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But under the bunk bed, I remember I put a poster of Justin Timberlake right there. And so I that's a little embarrassing maybe.
Do you
because
remember which poster, what it looked like? Is it seared into
It was
your
definitely,
mind?
the ramen noodle head. Ramen noodle head. And I would like Kristen Ciceri to chime in here if you're listening. And then also my friends, I had some friends in the room next door, and our outlets, we could hear through to their room. And
Through the outlets?
Through the outlets, we could hear through because it was just cinder blocks.
Oh.
It was just cinder
Yeah,
blocks.
yeah.
So then the outlet was right in the middle of it. And so you could see through even. Like if you were down low.
Oh my gosh,
so-
that has to be some kind of code violation.
I know. So Susan and McGee were their names, and we could talk to each other through the outlets. And I remember a couple of times, just chatting about life or whatever. And it was a sweet,
How
sweet memory.
fun.
And my Justin Timberlake poster was right next to that outlet. And that's how I remember. And so when John came up and the whole NSYNC thing happened, and we had the car and the credit card and everything, John was like, well, yeah, you have to go. There's a poster
There's
of
a
him and
poster.
everything. And
That's a big deal.
I'm trying to remember, but it's a little embarrassing to go as like an adult and still putting up Justin Timberlake posters in your dorm room. No wonder so many guys weren't
Knocking on your door.
knocking on the dorm room door trying to get with this.
I wish I had some posters.
Well, we had a huge array of answers like Duran Duran.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But
Oh,
then
yeah.
Some people, we must have some pretty young followers too,
Uh-huh.
because some of them were like Sabrina Carpenter or whatever. And I thought, oh, she's new.
Is she? Who's Sabrina Carpenter?
She's like one of these TikTok girlies.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they're still making posters of celebrities.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was still
Yeah,
happening.
maybe Sabrina, maybe it wasn't her, but it was someone who I was like, oh, this is somebody who's still like famous now or is recently famous.
I wonder who our youngest
So,
listener is.
I'm curious about, well, probably our kids.
Probably
your
Lily.
kids.
Yeah, yeah.
No, Tim's.
Well, I mean, Tristan listens. Like if I've got it going in the car, whenever he'll sit in the driveway to try to finish an episode.
I know he will. I've watched him.
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
so dear about this podcast. It's
very
so
sweet.
freaking cute.
It's very sweet.
It is.
And y'all know Lachlan is too.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know he is because he's hearing the intro.
He's hearing the intro. Speaking of me, this was me in Nashville, swishing through the stores. I've got a lot to buy, and here's my friends, and we're gonna make sure she buys it. That was me.
But I thought we talked about this.
What did we talk about?
How you were not going to have to go to all the stores and buy all the things because you were starting to realize that there's not an emotional thing happening.
Okay, there was it. There's not.
You just cleaned everything out just to re-put stuff back in.
But it was just boutique-y stuff.
No, I know. But
some of it was for you.
I appreciate that, but all of it's boutique-y stuff.
And you know that my shopping has changed some with Newly, but I got like good staple-y stuff, like this sweater.
Because
It's fall.
you definitely don't own any neutral colored striped sweaters.
I don't.
You are a damn lie.
I did get some boots.
I am going to. Oh, so did you go into that Boots where you buy 3 pair? Like you buy the one and you get the 2 free or whatever deal?
We went on every single boot store on Broadway.
Yes.
Because we were all just looking, and I had said, I'm only going to get a pair of boots if they speak to me. They have to speak to me and say, you must have me. This is meant to be, right?
Y'all, everything speaks to her.
No. So we go from store to store to store. Of course, there's fabulous boots in every single store. So we're going. Aaron ended up finding a great pair. They are so freaking cute. Little lavender booties.
Oh, I love a lavender booty. Aaron, what size is she?
She is a 7.
Not going to be able to buy those. I'm a 9. I have a big old foot for a short girl.
You do.
A big old foot.
There's that paywall again.
They were 7.5s before I got pregnant, and they did not just grow wide; they grew long, and they stayed. And I'm a 9 now, 9.5 sometimes.
That is so wild to me.
I know, isn't that crazy? Because usually they do grow wider, and then they reduce back down.
Yeah,
because all the fluid is finally drained out of your body when you pop that kid out.
But it's just like your titties grew, and they didn't go back down.
No, but God, they are so small now.
But they are shrinking
They're
now.
Cute. They're cute. I'm still okay with it, but I was looking at myself in the mirror today like...
And it was shrinking.
It's shocking. It's shocking when you go from having tig old bitties.
Tig old
bitties. And don't be confused here because this bra is still the old bra.
Yeah.
So it's just gaping.
Yeah, you
like,
can
look,
see it.
Look, I'll make the whole Coke logo disappear inside of my bra.
I could put my head in there. I could stick my
Remember
whole
when
face.
we compared our strapless bras the first BravoCon?
Yes.
That is the best picture
Y'all,
still to this day.
My cup was like this, and the strapless bra on the bed.
Her strapless bra looked like an eye mask. Her strapless bra size looked like an eye mask.
It did.
Didn't it?
It did. And then you laid yours.
You have mine, and it looked like these balloons.
Yeah.
Just humongous.
We've got to dig that up.
I know exactly where it is.
Okay.
I know exactly where that picture is because I was going through BravoCon photos recently in my Amazon photos, and I was like, swipe, the bra picture.
The bra pic.
Swipe, and it made me giggle.
It's so good.
But do we need to talk about... Oh, so finish the boot story, and then do we need to talk about the weight loss stuff?
Ended up going to Betty Boots. That was our last one because there was another one we were looking for, and we think now that like maybe that one went out of business because it was not on Broadway anymore.
Okay.
But we said, let's stop in Betty Boots. And, there were several boots that I felt were drawing me in. But these particular ones, I said, my God.
Mm-hmm.
It is a scene on each boot set in the desert. So imagine a desert scene.
Yes, I'm imagining
at
it.
night.
Oh,
with stars.
Stars.
But aliens and spaceships coming out into the desert.
Oh, of course.
Handmade.
Of course.
The leather stitched on spacecrafts, stars, sparkles. Are you kidding me?
Feather, leather, pleather.
Are you kidding me?
You had to. So how much were they?
Tell
the podcast.
I am absolutely not.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to say.
Because you're ashamed?
No.
Then tell him.
But I did have to message. I had to call Matt, and I had to say, this is a big one.
Yeah, this is a big one.
And I said, I'm not doing this unless I have your permission. And so I sent him a video. We talked, and he said, okay, that's your Christmas gift.
Okay. Amongst others. It's not like you won't be opening something.
I don't know. It's on the record. That's what he told me.
She will have many other gifts to open. Do not feel sorry for Kristen. Like, no.
I'm happy with just the boots.
Okay, but why haven't I seen them?
I'm going to show you a video right here in just a second.
Okay.
Because it's on my phone.
Oh, I cannot wait to see these.
And
what size are you? 7.5?
These ended up being a 6 because they were Old Gringo, and those do run big. Just know that if you buy Old Gringo online, they run big. I tried on the 7 first, and I said, let me go down to 6.5. And then I said, let me go down to 6. Okay. So then as I check out, the guy says, do you know Lana Del Rey? And I said, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, she was in here last week and bought these same boots.
Shut up. We have her record.
Lana
Del Rey.
So
she's a voib.
She is a voib.
You're a voib. She's a voib.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And so.
And Lana Del Rey just being in there last week.
I know.
That's what's great about Nashville,
Yeah,
though.
just casually in Betty Boots.
Like, this is what we're trying to tell you about Nashville. It's so great because
so
it's not pretentious.
No.
Like all the celebs just go to all the things and walk in and out.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
You'll never know who you'll see at just one of these random honky tonks up on stage.
I was kind of hoping we were in Miranda Lambert's place. I was hoping maybe
Love
she
that
would
one.
appear on stage, you know.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't think that, is it Dierks Bentley? Who has the rooftop?
So Jason Aldean has a rooftop.
this-
Luke Bryan has a rooftop. And maybe Dirk.
I think it's Dierks. I don't
know that I've been to Dirk's.
It is. It's,
Okay.
I remember it's Dierks Bentley's rooftops, and I remember that because there's so many S's. Dierks Bentley's.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he knows what's going on his rooftop.
Oh, why? What was going on?
It's a scene. I think it's where all the young people are.
Okay.
Our days of clubbing are not the same as the
No, they're
clubbing of now.
No.
It's just not the same.
We are the clubbing of yesteryear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're up there. Everybody's vaping. There's a couple VIP sections. Everything is very moody. Even the music they were playing. I just was like, I've aged out of this.
Yeah.
And I don't think Dierks really knows the vibe that's up here.
Yeah, is that the vibe that Dirks is going for?
I don't think so.
This is not why people come to Nashville.
Yeah.
If you want to go in and like be all kind of weird and stuff, like there are lots of other cities to go to for that. And then there's even different pockets of Nashville that you can go to for that vibe.
But to me, if you're on Broadway.
No, you got to be honky tonkin'.
I mean, we were squished in there. We were trying to shimmy our way
So it was
back.
obviously popular.
It was very popular.
But also maybe just because there were so many people in town and so everywhere was going to be packed.
It could be, but
Did y'all go to Roberts too and the stage and do like
know.
all of those kind of more traditional ones?
We did Tootsie's.
Tootsie's, of course.
Tootsie's was great.
Yep. So you have like the more traditional are like Tootsie's, the stage, Roberts, and then you have all the celebs.
Yes.
The
and
Mirandas
Jason
and Jasons.
is great, and that's where the guys wanted to play or watch football all day Saturday. While so I didn't say, but so we did the brunch. Then I knew we were going to go shopping all day. Then I knew we were meeting up with them to go line dancing.
Which
it
was
was just
so much fun.
It was so much freaking fun. We had the best.
But you
time.
weren't going back to the Airbnb for an outfit change, so you had to commit.
It was a commitment
to Nashville Barbie from the moment you woke up,
morning, noon, and night,
and it was a commitment.
It was.
But
you saw the boots.
But did people compliment you everywhere you went?
People were very nice.
Were you getting the usual Kristen treatment?
It was very, very sweet.
Good. I want that for you. When you put as much work and effort to beat the face and the hair and order the outfits and wear them and commit to your feet hurting.
It's work.
It is work.
It's work.
And anyone who says it's not has never tried to walk a mile in her shoes on Broadway.
Not in my on Broadway.
On Broadway.
That's a great one.
I got to add that. Yeah.
Okay, before we go, let's just real quick. I feel like we can dig into this.
Okay.
Before I roast you on the clutter.
Great.
Okay. Here's the deal. We talked a little bit last week, y'all, about how Miranda is in a season of change, not on purpose. She's just in a season of change randomly here in 2023.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Now, she has posted some things recently where, I mean, the truth is she's a wisp. She's looking very thin.
Not a wisp.
And but certain things that you do post are giving more wisp, okay? And so she's had some people DM and say, "You've lost enough." Right?
They have told me
You're good.
enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is
You
enough.
look great. You don't need to go any further. And your feeling is that you still feel like the range that you're in is still not in the normal,
I mean, I showed you.
quote unquote normal.
Yeah. I showed you on Halloween Horror Nights
Yeah.
night when I was talking to Josie and Kristen about this, about how I'm starting to now get. So I think when you lose 20 pounds, it's like, oh, thank God, you really needed to start to take some stuff off. And then when you lose 30 pounds, maybe people are starting to notice when they haven't seen you in a while or don't even know what you're doing, right? Yeah. And then when you're at 40 pounds, people all of a sudden are like, that's enough.
Yeah, that's a huge change.
That's enough, because it does seem like a huge change, right? And it is. Don't get me wrong.
But to you, it's felt gradual enough.
So gradual. I mean, I'm on 6 months now of this shot.
I can't believe it's been that long.
It's been 6 months. I think I take number 26 on Sunday, or I took 26 on Sunday. I can't remember. So that's half a year.
Yeah.
There's 52 weeks in a year, y'all. So it's been half of a year, and it averages out that if I'm at 42 pounds down, then divide that by 6, and you're at 7 pounds gone every month.
Yeah.
Which is 1 to 2 pounds a week, which is very recommended
Yes.
for weight loss.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race here. And there are certain months where I only lost 3 pounds. And there are
But
other months.
you're thinking that because some people really weren't starting to notice until you hit, let's
Yes.
say, the 30,
Yes.
that to them it seems sudden.
Yes, that's my point. Thank you for bringing it back
Oh, no,
around.
no.
That's what I was trying to say.
It
is
feels sudden to them.
because people don't really start to notice,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you've gotten skinnier.
Yeah.
Then that feels sudden to them, but it is certainly not sudden. This is exactly how it's designed to work, and it's exactly how my nurse wants it to work, and my doctor wants it to work. And so I feel like by people telling me that it's enough or it's too much, I feel like it's telling me that it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
And I get that. And
I don't like that.
I said we were DMing about this on one of our accounts, multiple ways that we communicate. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But I said to her, I can understand
Mm-hmm.
that there are some people on the fringes of your life
Sure.
that are suddenly seeing you or seeing you in a particular outfit, let's say that's very flattering,
Sure.
where they look at that and go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the girl that I've always known?
Correct. Yeah.
Where has she gone?
Yes. I
And
understand that.
They feel emboldened to write you and say, that's enough.
Yeah, they sure do. But they've always felt like they can write me anything. And I guess I open myself to that because I am honest and I'm real and I'm relatable and I'm all these things. But I think that a lot of people felt like those characteristics came along with being an overweight girl. That's what made me more relatable. Now, not the only thing that makes me relatable, but it makes me more relatable.
And maybe for
And they're clinging on to that.
They're clinging to that they felt a connection with you because the weight battle was the same.
Mm-hmm. It's still a battle.
And so they feel like, I mean, that's true. And I think for you, because the reality is, y'all, eventually she will go off the medication and you are going to have to still think about how, like many of us are, really think about what am I eating? What am I doing? Am I staying active? It's still going to feel.
It's going to be harder.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder. The battle is not done, and it's never going to be done.
And you have been willing to share all of this with everybody. Yeah. So y'all just know that she's going to keep sharing before and during and after the medicine.
Yes.
This is going to continue to be a journey.
It is. And I need people to.
But they got to release.
They've got to release
their own insecurities and not put that on you and say, okay, Miranda, that's enough. If you get too thin, I'm going to feel really crappy about myself and I don't like that. And so you need to stop.
It goes back to what we were saying. Like, well, I don't like when people decorate for Christmas early because it makes me feel like I'm not doing enough to decorate for Christmas early. Like, why am I so slow in my life? It's like, y'all don't need to cling to other people like that.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't need to. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
The other person has not asked for that.
Right.
They haven't volunteered for it. And you don't need to. Just stay in your lane, do your own thing. If you're happy, great. If you're not, make some changes, whatever that looks like for you, or don't. I mean, clearly I sat around and didn't make changes for a while. So deeply relatable. See? Still relatable. But here's what I want, again, for people to remember is that the BMI chart is what all medical professionals and people like life insurance policies.
Yeah.
They all still go off of what some would say are very antiquated BMI charts because they don't account for muscle and things like that. However, until they come up with something new, this is the system that we have.
Yeah.
And so for my height being 5'2", the BMI chart is just not very kind to short people.
It's not.
It's just the truth of it. They're not very kind to short people because your range gets smaller and smaller and smaller with how short you are. And so for me, to be in the normal range is like 103 to 117.
Ooh.
Okay? That's the normal range.
That's low.
And it could be, I mean, don't quote me. I'll put it up there. Hell, I'll throw it on the receipt. Y'all can see exactly what it is.
We'll put the BMI chart.
We'll put the BMI chart, and now everyone can, I mean, anyone can Google it too if you don't want to wait for the receipts. But you can type in, it's this like calculator. You type in your height, you type in your weight, and then they tell you how fat you are.
Yeah.
Essentially.
They sure
really do.
And there's plenty of calculators out there.
Yep. And
ready to tell you how fat you are.
They really are. I'm sorry. I'm just going to speak truth right now. And so for my height so then what you have is like you have below normal, right? And those are people who are malnourished.
Yes.
Those are people who are struggling potentially with eating disorders and things like that. So that's malnourished. And that's like below low. Then you have normal. Then you have overweight. Then you have obese.
Yes.
Then you have morbidly obese.
Yes.
Okay. So I started in the morbidly obese category.
Which is really insane to me.
But I was...
No one would have looked at you and thought you were morbidly obese. Come on.
But I was 70 to 80 pounds over just the highest of the normal range. Okay, so that's morbidly obese because when you think about it, that's more than half your body weight. That's over where it should be.
That's crazy.
So that's morbidly obese. Then I came down into the obese category, which felt really good. And I would have to double check the chart now, but I want to say that maybe I am now at the highest end of the overweight category.
Okay.
So there's about 20 pounds difference there, you guys, like in the overweight category, right? In all of these, there's kind of like a 20 to 25 pound range. And so right now where I am is maybe, again, the tippy top of the overweight, which means that if I want to get into the tippy top of the normal range, I still need to lose 20 more pounds. Which is why when people say, enough is enough, don't lose any more, I'm going, wait a minute, I still can't even qualify for the normal range for my life insurance policy to get my rates down a little bit.
Do you feel like you have 20 left to lose?
I don't know. I don't know because I've never really put a number on it. I just want to get somewhat close to that normal range.
Sure.
I want to get somewhat close to it, and I don't know if I will. I don't know if I can. I really don't know, but
I mean, I think you'll be able to if you're on this
I don't
medicine. Like it's going to get you there. And if your doctors feel like that's a good thing for you,
yeah. And if they do, and that's who I'll continue to just refer back to. Is like what do Dr. Evan and NP Jessica want me to do? And if they tell me we got it, we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep going. And also, they retest my blood work, they redo my physical, they see where my A1C has dropped to. They're going to check all of those things again, and maybe now because I'm just about at that 6-month mark is when we do it. I need to double check, but so that might be coming up anyway, and then that might reveal the next set of steps that we take.
Right.
And it might be like, okay, we're going to go with 10 more because of the muscle that you've built. We're now adjusting it for this reason. But again, that's because they can. It still doesn't make a damn bit of difference to the American Health Society or whatever.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't make a damn bit of difference to who we pay our premiums to for our life insurance policies. It's all based on BMI.
So crazy.
So it is.
So guys, just let her lose the weight. You know,
so
it's going to continue to be a journey. We don't have to overanalyze this.
I'm 5'2". Here's the thing. Like,
people don't realize how short you are.
I'm 5'2". I am very short.
Until they see you
Until they see me in real life. And then they go, oh my God, you're so cute. You're so short. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I'm so cute.
But I tell them, I put it on every slide, 5'2", 5'2". And then for some reason, people think I'm lying to them. Then they meet me out in real life and they're like, oh, you really are. Like, why would I ever lie about my height? Trust me, would love to be 5'5". Do you know how many more pounds that would get me on the BMI chart?
I mean.
But
that's so dumb. Like 3 inches would give you so many more pounds. That's
so
stupid.
So crazy. But so I still have I definitely still have a way to go here. And what I'm just asking people is to be patient with me. And I have to be very patient in this process. And I am still like, what's going to happen afterwards? To say I don't think about it would be a lie. That when I stop taking this, I know that there are not so many people, because that's probably an exaggeration, but I know that there are people who want me to fail. Who want me to fail.
There's haters everywhere.
And I know that there are people who are already saying, I can't wait to watch her gain this all back. That's why we said no.
Well, that's our motivation. Because guess what? Every time you reach a new level, there's a new devil.
Yep.
Know that.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah. You level up, there's a new devil.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So you have to know that is behind you.
Yep.
Chasing you down.
And
but guess what? We know people that have gone on these medicines, people we didn't even know were on it.
Yes.
And they've been off it for a year. They look fantastic.
Yes.
They have kept it up. They've found
Meredith looks incredible.
I mean, she's a wisp.
She is. Yeah. You want to talk about a wisp? Get Meredith in here.
Meredith Monday is tiny.
Whoa, wee, wow.
And she's been off of it for more than a year.
Yes.
And I've
kept it off.
And I've seen other people too.
I actually think she's gotten thinner since being off of it, potentially.
I know.
Like maybe
because it's a lifestyle change. She's made a lifestyle change.
It is. And y'all have seen me. I have made the changes. I I have made changes in my food. I have made changes in my workout. I am trying to make changes in other ways in my life. I am really trying to do it. And so for people to be saying, well, I just can't wait to see what happens when the med's over. Well, me too, by the way, because I don't know what it's going to be like. But also, can we come from a place of a little bit more kindness and just instead of thinking the worst for me, maybe assuming that it's actually going to be okay and still be rooting for me, even though maybe you don't see a certain part of yourself in me anymore. Like, Kristen, hand me that picture, please.
Let's see. Which one?
From your birthday.
I think you look so good here.
This is right before.
Right before you took it.
This is right before. And so is Greenbrier, but that caftan is hiding a lot.
Yeah.
But this is me.
This is me.
So funny to me to listen back to. Okay, so this is at Kristen's birthday in April.
Yep.
And I guess Greenbrier was a couple weeks later
It was
after
before.
that?
Actually, it was before because my birthday was the end of April, so you had just started it.
I had just started it. And when was that?
This was the second week of April.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the very few pounds difference
Yeah.
are even changing these pictures. But, I know how to dress.
You really do. That's what I'm saying. You look great here.
I know how to dress a body. I know how to pose in photos. I know how to do a lot of stuff. But the other thing is I am still carrying so much weight in my stomach. I am still that is always going to be
this was BravoCon last year. You look
but I was in the 170s, I want to say, maybe 180s there because that was 6 months difference from Greenbrier. Greenbrier, I was 194. Okay. I was 194 there. But I'm still carrying a ton. If I were to stand up and just pull these biker shorts down and lift my shirt up, you guys would say, keep her on the shot. My God. Holy moly, she's nowhere close to coming off this thing.
And we have free will, and you can do that right now if you want to do it.
No. I've never shown my stomach online. I've never shown I've never shown down. I've never shown the fupa. So I did try on a 2-piece this year.
Yeah.
Where I did one pieces where there was a little cutout right here.
You did.
That's not the problem. The problem starts below the belly. There's some problem here. Don't get me wrong. But below the belly button is a problem. It's a big problem. And so here's what I'll say. If you go back a real long while in my Instagram, I was part of a roundup of influencers who were doing eating disorder awareness for NIDA. Okay?
I remember.
And I put my letterboard in front of my stomach. I was standing naked in my shower, and I put a letterboard in front of my stomach. And so you could still see just the sides of my body, just the sides, but I was covering up all the tids and bits.
Yeah.
And my fupa, of course, was very prominent. You know this story. My fupa was very prominent, but mostly hidden, but it looked like lines on each side. And someone commented to just be in a thong on the internet is so brave.
And you're like, that's not a G-string, honey. That's the lines of my body.
That's my fupa hanging over and causing a shadow.
That's the shadow.
That's the fat. That's the roll. She thought it was my thong strings. What? Okay. And that was an aha Oprah moment.
That was an
aha moment. I said, my God, we need to do something about it.
She thinks my skin fold shadow is a thong.
And it's still there. It's still there. I still have a very big fupa. I have a lot of fat on my stomach. And so that is what is the most concerning part for my doctors.
Yeah. Well, don't they say the belly fat
is the killer?
It correlates to heart disease and all
it's
of
the
these
silent killer. And because it's covering your most vital organs.
Yeah.
And so there are just layers and layers of fat on top of those organs. And so it stresses them out from working how they are correctly supposed to be working.
I mean, you look great though.
But that's
I just
the skin was a lot. I gained a lot of weight, as y'all know. With Bella, I gained a decent amount. With Lily, I didn't lose it all. Then there were lots of ups and downs and gains and stretches and ins and outs. And that skin is just still there. That skin and fat is still there. It is getting smaller, but I don't know if it's going to be eradicated. But what I'm trying to say is if y'all saw that, if you actually saw that part of my body, you would never say enough is enough. You wouldn't. And you would say, I can see why you need to keep going.
Now, tell the podcats because I find this interesting about you,
Mm-hmm.
that you've always said you don't think
This is a great question.
that you would go under the knife
Yeah.
because you don't want to die in vain.
Yes.
That you don't want to die on an operating table.
I don't.
And leave your girls
Mm-hmm.
motherless because you felt a vanity certain kind of way. And that's not knocking anybody that's
No.
had procedures. Many of us have had procedures.
You get to that place. Every person gets to make that own
But I
decision.
am wondering, do you think you're going to maybe get to that place where
I don't
you think
think
it's
so.
time to kind of tuck it up?
I don't think so because I did get really, really fit during the Carolina sweat thing.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Got small and it was still there. And at that point, I didn't make that decision either. And I was even younger.
True.
And like,
True.
felt like I could bounce back faster and things like that.
Yeah.
And that was 10 years ago. So I don't think so. I think that it's one of those things that's just always going to be a part of me.
Sure.
And I don't know if I'd say it's an insecurity because it's not like it's stopping me from doing anything
No.
or, being my true self. But do I think about my stomach 25 times a day? It's a lot of time to spend thinking about it.
Sure.
Is there any part of your body that you think about a lot?
Let me think.
I'm not saying that you should be.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because everybody has their thing.
You know what I think it is? It actually changes for me.
What is it?
And Gigi and I have talked about that. We're like, and so I'll notice those things on other people. If there's something I've been more focused on myself, which again, that's like super self-focused and selfish and stupid. But then it's like I'll notice those things on other people more. So it changes. It could be, oh, my arms are feeling big, or I feel like I'm getting more wrinkles under my eyes, or I feel like I'm just looking super bloated today, super swollen. What did I eat last night? A bunch of Chinese food. I'm feeling swollen up. Like it changes for me. There's plenty of things that I pick apart myself. You know this.
Yes, I do know that. But I'm also like, I know that you have your scars.
Oh, yeah. Y'all, I have lots of scars. But, it's kind of how you
don't-
feel. The scars don't bother me.
They don't bother you.
Mm-mm.
Okay. At some point, did they?
No. Honestly, the big scar down my belly. So I have a big vertical scar down my belly. And it saved my life.
Yeah, it did.
I would be dead. So I think.
So you view it as a tiger stripe.
I absolutely.
Like a badge of honor.
I am like, if this man had not said that morning, we got to cut into you. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
But we got to cut in. I probably would be dead.
Yeah. It was that.
It was that bad. We were
severe.
on day 4 of like sepsis happening. So, so I think that is so seared into my mind.
So you would wear a 2-piece and not think twice about it because of the scar?
Like the scar I don't mind. It's the fact that the guy that did do the surgery, love him, love you so much, sir. But he wasn't a plastic surgeon.
Sure.
So what was left behind is not super attractive. Have I looked into getting scar revision? I have.
Yeah.
I actually have something pulled up on my laptop right now of a guy in Charlotte that is like known for that.
Yeah.
So I've thought about that, but I am like you where I'm like, is it
like
worth?
what's it? Yeah.
I love a great one piece. So I'm
Yeah.
not
I mean, we
feeling
love our one pieces.
yeah. I'm not feeling like I need to flounce around here.
The reason why I keep asking about it is because I am wondering, like, will I ever get to a place where I'll feel good in a 2-piece? I don't know. And so you're kind of the same way.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Is it worth going under the knife?
Yeah.
That's a really big deal to have surgery. And also the effects that anesthesia can
Yeah.
have on your body. Like there's a lot of after effects from a major surgery. And so I'm like,
And the cost for me.
I'm already dealing with enough medical problems
Yeah.
and hormones and all this crap that I'm like, do I add that in the mix? I don't know.
I wouldn't. I mean, I know that it would probably. Here's the other thing. So you're trading one for the other, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know that I do think about my stomach and I think about how many folds there are and how much fat there is and how I look like I'm wearing a thong when I'm naked. And I'm not. But and that person didn't mean anything by it. She thought she was being complimentary.
Yeah.
Like I could never just wear a thong on the internet. And I was kind of like, huh? And then I looked at the picture again. I was like, oh my God, she thinks that's my G-string. So yeah, that was bad. But I do think about it a lot. But what I'm curious is, okay, so let's say I go and I get the surgery.
Yeah.
And then I have a scar from pelvic bone.
All the way.
All the way to pelvic bone.
Yep.
Just tiny little.
All the way
across. And so it takes away, maybe it makes it flatter and maybe things would zip up a little bit easier and I wouldn't have that fupa bulge and stuff or whatever people call it, apron stomach. People have different words for it instead of, fat upper P area. But that's what I call it. And so, but then when you're naked, you're like trading one thing that maybe you don't like to look at for another thing you don't like to look at.
I know it.
So then is that worth it? In your case, it saved your life. So you're like, hell yeah, I'll look at the scar.
Yeah. Happy to look at the scar.
But for me, like, it just doesn't make it. To me, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it because I know my luck.
Oof.
I know my luck.
The Miranda luck.
Yeah, the Mandy's law of it all. And I just know it. And it would, it would just devastate me to be a ghost looking at my kids going, I could have been here.
And the ghost she will look like is the new tattoo that Josh got that is a ghost.
Yes. We both got tattoos
They
that
got
night.
tattoos. And so on that note, I'm going to hit stop.
Yeah.
Because it's time to dig into...
I will let a needle touch me if it's a tattoo, but not to numb me up for a tummy tuck.
You guy, I hope you've
gird your loins.
Gird your loins for Thursday. And you better gird your loins.
That's what she told me.
For 2 minutes from now.
The loins are girded, and so is the fupa.
And that's that. To be continued.